to this computer. All right, so let's start. If someone will join us, the next minute is very welcome. So this is the last session of the next step course. Before I start, I would like to thank you, not only you, but also the other people that they have participated in this course. It was like by observing the whole course, I think it was a successful experiment. We are going to, as I said, I will appreciate your feedback in order to improve and provide the second version of this course to you or to other students. And your opinion is very much appreciated. All right, so I think that already Yorgos has shared with you the evaluation form. Just be uh, just respond this frankly in order to offer something more interactive and more efficient and more tailored to your needs. Okay, so this is the last session. And during the last session, I will discuss with you a new set of skills that the AI era has introduced. It's not that the AI era has introduced this new set of skills. It has changed, a little bit, the playground and the requirements from your side and also from our side in order to be more employable and to be adaptive to the next day. So I will speak a bit about, this new set of skills, and I will present, the need for them, as they called, according to the Harvard Business Review, the fusion skills. But before I start, do you understand what does it mean fusion? Any idea? What do we mean by the verb fuse? What does it mean on your mind if we say fusion of something, or not of something, fusion of two or more things? What do you understand? Yes, Marianthi?
A mix of two things.
Excuse me, Marianthi, a little bit louder.
A mix.
A mix. Yes, this is true. It's like one thing fused with the other in order to create something new. And this is what exactly we are going to describe regarding skills, since the course and within the framework of impact, we target and we aim the soft skills for collaboration and communication between the different cultures. I mean, these soft skills are they integrate with AI technology and what kind or what new changes and transformation the AI introduced, and they are very essential for your employability and for the next day, and also for the universities on what we should teach, how to teach, what is the objective, and how to evaluate our students before the graduation. So let me share my screen in order to start. All right, I have to. So this is what we are going to discuss together, the fusion skills, on actually, a motto that we can say how to use smarter, I will say with AI, in order the human element to be the co-pilot and not the co-passengers of the developments that the AI introduces. AI, in my mind, is like a new, let's say, industrial, some kind of revolution. We were talking about the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and I think AI is transforming, the demands and the requirements, in a lot of sectors, including teaching, but also employability. And within the purpose of the next step, this is what I'm going to discuss with you, how to develop it, and also, the impact of these AI career agents and how we can use these AI agents in order to be prepared better for the next step of our life. So this is what we are going to do, what kind of skills in order to strengthen our employability, but also to strengthen our employability through the human machine, human AI collaboration that this new era introduces. If we always, I like to start with some figures based on the bibliography. So 44 of the worker skills will be disrupted, in the next 2 years. And before I will reveal what kind of skills, beyond competencies, beyond technical competencies, I would like to ask you, or I would like you to discuss in a breakout room where I will split you in a breakout room of two people. What are the skills that the market will looking for? Um, Let me ask you directly and not split you in the breakout rooms. What skills do you think that are necessary for this era in order to be employable? I repeat, not technical competencies because you are coming from various topics, but other, let's say, soft personal skills that you need to have in order to work together with AI or to be employed in this AI era, which is an extra tool for you in order to be more efficient. What do you think? Any idea? George Pandelakos.
Hello.
Hello,
Uh,
sir.
I would like to say that adaptability is a big a big personal trait that someone should have.
Can you explain?
Because
I'm
yes,
sorry. I'm sorry, Pandelis. George Pandelakos. Can you please explain me why adaptability?
yeah, of course. You have to be adaptable because in the AI era, someone who cannot learn how to use these kind of tools will inevitably stay behind,
All right. So
and
you need. Yeah,
yeah.
please go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go.
he won't be able to compete with other professionals that have fully adapted and learn how to use this kind of tool to help them with their work.
Thank you. George, I would like to add, I totally agree with you. Adaptability is one element. I mean, we need to adapt to a new set of skills. So we need to reskill ourselves or to upskill ourselves, depends on from which perspective you are going to take it. All right. So adaptability is something very necessary. Maria,
Hello.
hello.
For me, I think it's very important to have critical thinking, so you can narrow the information and see what is important and what it's not important, or you can see what's right or wrong.
Very good. I will keep it, on my notebook. Yes. I mean, critical thinking is an essential element, I will say, together with the knowledge that we have from our profession in order to filter out or to be able to assess if the information that we received or the result as part of our collaboration with the machine with AI is the correct one, or even if it's correct, if it is the most appropriate for our needs. I would like to thank you, Maria, as well. And we have something in the chat from I think Mohammed. Be better. Be better are connected with humans. So I will say empathy, understanding, and personal branding. Also I would say that AI is not impose, any restrictions in order to be better with the humans. Probably regarding the communication is a challenge, and we need to keep it in order to be more, like from the human perspective, more communicative with between us. But I think that the personal branding, Mohammed, it was essential anyhow. But I would like to thank you also, Mohammed. I don't know from which university are you coming from, but I appreciate your response. Let me also accept the other two people. All right. Any other contributions? What kind of other skills do
Uh,
we need? Yes,
Maybe with AI, maybe creativity. Um, I'm not using it a lot, but I think about it. If you apply AI, I mean, it can help with marketing. How it can also ease on the job in you, and I think it will remove a lot of the stress. So some of your ideas can be implemented by AI.
I totally
So.
agree with you, Gabriel, and thank you very much. Creativity is always an essential part of any employee, in any job, for any employer. But I think with AI, it's boosted more, and it's something very appreciated, the creativity and the
Mhm.
innovation and etc. All right, so let me go again to my transparencies. Thank you for those that for those that participate. I respond to this question, and let me go with this. All right. So if we go back, importance is cognitive skills. I think that you mentioned creativity. I think it was like the colleague from Western Galley College that he mentioned it. Analytical thinking. All right. We need to analyze what is providing to us, to analyze the situation, and then the situation to be evaluated with the help as an extra tool of AI. Creative thinking also, part of the cognitive skills, and you already mentioned. And I will say also, technology literacy. We are talking about in the higher education about the digital plan in Europe for the European higher education era. But now, this digital literacy and these digital skills, they are a little bit more prioritized around, the human machine interaction using AI. The AI literacy, however, is not only what kind of tools we can use in order to create a poster, to create a video, but how to use the AI responsibly. And this means critically, but also ethically. So this is something that we are going to keep. The learning outcomes that we are going to discuss today within the next 45 minutes is how do we define these fusion skills, to explain these fusion skills for strengthening our learning, and also to provide some practical tips on how to develop it. I would like to go to the Mentimeter in order to ask you some questions around these fusion skills before I will present them, and check your awareness of how many of them do you think that you already have. So I think that you can scan this, and then I can go to the Mentimeter in order to open it. I also place the link. I mean the not the link, the code in the medi.com. I will place it on the link here. Oh, no. All right. Let me go to the Menti. I hope that I have opened it because I closed some things before I can. So let me open the. No. Sorry about this. I restart the computer and I forgot to. So give me. Jesus Christ. Security. Accept all. Uh, fusion skills. The four fusion skills. Not now. All right. Let me share my screen now. And start presentation. All right. Rate your confidence in the following up to 100. I can define what AI fusion skills are. All right. I can explain the four fusion skills for strengthening learning through human AI collaboration. I have practical tips for using the fusion skills in my course design or during my learning here, because this is also initially has been run with teachers as well. So instead of teaching purposes, you should say, in your case, learning purposes. And I think that we have also developed another course every Wednesday, AI tools for learning and innovating, which is very much related on also to the today's session. So I'm going to wait 9 of 14. They have been responding 10 of the 14. It looks like it's new. I will show you that I think that the majority of the skills you have already applied. It's a matter of realization of the new era, I will say. All right. So let me move to the next 12 or 15. I will wait a bit, because also could be a start of a new course within the framework of the impact and also the collaboration with your universities. And 1, 2, 3, I will go to the next one. What is the first thing you want to remember about fusion skills? The importance to excel AI-driven world, that they are a blend of human and AI skills. Pilot vs passenger mindset, something else. There's a typo here. So before you start to present, I would like to say to you that fusion, as I have started this session, is like the mixing or the blending of technical competencies. So you are physicists, you are manager, you are economists, I don't know, you are electronic engineers. So you need these technical skills together with ethics and soft skills in order to blend all of them and to have this new set of skills that together with AI you are going to be more efficient, but more efficient as protagonists. So you are going to use the AI as an extra tool in order to be more efficient. And in this case, to keep a priority, an advantage for the next day of your employability than to be replaced by AI. I like it very much what I found a lot of times, as a reader in the journals, that is not AI that is going to replace us, is someone with AI literacy, but also with the personal and also technical competencies that will be more efficient, either, which means, what does it mean efficiency? It means faster and provide what do we expect. So they are a blend of human and AI skills. The majority of you are thinking this. The importance to excel AI-driven world, pilot vs passenger mindsets, something else. So I'm going to wait since two more people, they have joined to this Mentimeter. 17, we have 13 responses. What about the other four? What about the other four? 1, 2, 3. In my opinion, I will say everything is correct. So, but
Kostas?
Yes, madam.
This is Samia. Can you explain the third one?
The third one. All right.
Pilot
Yes.
versus
Yes.
passenger
Thank you.
mindset.
Thank you. To be protagonists, not the AI to define the next step, but the human competencies together with the soft skills and what you would like to achieve, to use AI as an extra tool and not as, let's say, the boss of what you would like to do, to dictate the innovation, but to assist towards, more innovation, for example. So, for example, in the case of a teacher like me and you, Samia, you have your scenario, what you would like to achieve in each course. You can use AI in order to provide you more interactive activities, or to enrich, the learning outcomes of each session, to be used, based on your scenario and not to provide the scenario. All right, so let's go to the next one. Which fusion skill do you think is the most important for future readiness? Intelligence in the negotiation. What does it mean, intelligence in the negotiation? We are going to analyze it later on. Means that what we say, probing engineering, like to be able to ask questions, the AI agent, in order to achieve your target. But in order to ask the questions, first of all, you need to know what you would like to achieve. All right, you define what you would like to achieve. Reciprocal, all right, now judgment integration, you can understand. You have the technical competencies, you have the critical mind and the soft skills in order to accept or to reject, the result of your communication with the AI tool that you are using. Creative transformation, how you are going to integrate the result in order to boost your creativity, to boost your innovation, and the reciprocal apprenticeship to learn together. Working and communicating in a critical way with AI is like a trainer. I'm playing basketball 1-to-1, I'm trained to become better. But in order to become better, I should know what are my weaknesses, I should know what to should achieve. So my opponent is the AI that helps me to get improved. And I'm improved with a better questions to AI. If I provide better and more critical questions to the agent, the agent also is improved, and which means that it will help me even more with the appropriate mindset, for my next mission. All right, so I can see intelligence in the location. So, the problem engineering, very important. The judgment in order to check what you would like to do and keep or reject, creative transformation, and then reciprocal apprenticeship. Thank you. And what tip do you want to try? Build a lesson plan, which means like to use it for your learning approaches that integrates fusion skill with the content of the course. Avoid the seductive details effect, which means, the things that you don't, the wrong things, and build your, let's say, practice, learning plan. Blessing, please mute yourself. All right, I will mute here. All right, so the majority of you would like to build your career plan or your learning pathway through a course. In this case, for the next step, of course, is the career pathway, and I will give you some examples as we are moving to today's lecture. All right. So, rate your confidence on the above. I can define what AI fusion skills are. I can explain the 4 fusion skills. I have a practical tips for using fusion skills in my course design or learning purposes. All right, just, respond over there, and I will come back, before we finish the lecture in order to recheck your confidence on this. So probably, in the last session of the last slide of the Mentimeter, we will come after the end of this session. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let me go then to my transparencies, and we will come back to this. All right, thank you for your participation, and then let's move on. So it is like very important, these skills in order to practice them. What are these skills? I will explain, and how are you going to teach them or how to learn them. However, the responsibility of the teachers is very important in order to be trained as a students, in the appropriate way. And also, we are going to discuss about the integration of this AI literacy with personal competencies, technical one. So this is something, again, that shows that even, students from the best schools in the world, according to the employers, and this is something from the Wall Street, in 2026, I can see, 18th of January 2026, says that even MBAs from top business schools are struggling to get hired. I still remember one of the first activities that we have done in the Hellenic Mediterranean University within the framework of an international project. Back in 2017, it was like the case, again, the need from the employers that we cannot find the appropriate people. But that period, the appropriate people mean people with the specific technical skills and the soft skills that will satisfy the vacancy. Now they place also within the technical another added element is the AI literacy. So you can see that even now, probably there are occupations, but the people, even though that they are coming from the best schools, they cannot satisfy these vacancies. So we are here in order to discuss and make aware of you about what they are looking for. This is something that I copied, in a conference that I was back in January in Haifa, and it was a guy that he presented something very nice. What is the yesterday demands from an employee, and what is the today's demand from the employee? And I would like to give few moments to you and someone to summarize me what is the main element that AI era has changed regarding the expectations from an employee, in order to get prepared what is expecting to you in the market and why AI literacy, but together with the knowledge, which is the most important thing, will make you more employable than anyone else that does not have either the soft skills or the AI literacy, or she does not know her profession. So I'm going to wait, and then I'm expecting from some of you to summarize this table, the yesterday and the today. Actually, we are already yesterday. However, this is very important to identify the main changes that the technologies, the disruptive technologies, including AI, is bringing to us, which means that changes completely the skills in order to be employable. So I'm going to wait, and then I'm waiting from you to raise your hand and someone to summarize me according to his or her opinion, what are the main changes. You can see my transparency, no? Yes or no? Yes? All right, good.
Yes, we can see.
Thank you, thank you. So now I'm waiting your response. Take your time, even though one of the elements that changes relates with the time. I would like to ask Sandra. Thank you, Sandra.
Hi.
Hi. So you raise your hand. So are you ready to respond?
Yeah, I need to summarize it, to read the summarize.
Yeah, I can wait. I can wait.
No, I have it. If you want, I can read it.
Yes, please, please.
Okay, so the summarize for yesterday is work was slower, more specialized and team-based. People focused on one role, worked on longer timelines, and relied on building experience gradually. Tests required significant time, effort, and coordination. And new knowledge took time to become relevant. And for today, the summarize is work is faster, more dynamic, and requires multidisciplinary skills. Individuals are expected to handle multiple roles, deliver quickly, and rely on deep expertise rather than large teams. Experience must be broad, and staying updated is critical due to rapid changes in knowledge.
Thank you, Sandra. Now, I will ask you, how did you reach, this conclusion? Can you give me, an example from your life regarding these conclusions that, these tables states from your life? Any examples?
I can give an example, like from my work. If I needed to present something for my team or for my managers, it's before the AI was really hard. I need to sit it and make some notes for myself before I do I work on the presentation I want to do. and then work on the presentation, how it looks, and the words I put. And today it's much easier. I make my notes in the AI, like ChatGPT or something like that. I do my notes, I put what I want to say, and something that is important, and everything else is done beautifully. I just adjust it for my needs, and that's it.
Okay, so Sandra mentioned about the shorter time. Also, Sandra mentioned about dynamic and multidisciplinary. Do we have someone else, to explain about, these Sandra comments? I totally agree, and this is what I kept, when I say check, this table, everything now is faster. I mean, something that it probably someone was going to ask us, a week in order to do, now can be done in a day. And if someone can do this in a day or in a few moments, it's going to be more efficient. It's going to be more employable. I will give you an example from my perspective as an academic. I mean, when we started or when we were starting a new project or when we would like to back up um, a new idea, a research idea, of course, we need to study a lot of papers. You know, one paper to study constructively can take you, let's say, 2 hours. All right? But constructively to understand. Now you can read it, fast, and then you can place it to AI to make, the abstract or to ask questions. And this can happen, can reduce this time at least, 20 by 50%. Of course, first you need to read it in order to have an idea. Then you can place it to AI in order to do the prompt engineering, about the objectives, the solutions. And because you have read it, you have an idea in order to summarize it. All right. Another example about multidisciplinary or let's say freedom or democratization of knowledge, the poster, probably, to design a poster could take, a whole day or more. Now with AI can take, few seconds, few minutes, less time without to know a specific, let's say, tool. All right. Um, Another thing is like probably how to adapt your resume that comes from your CV in a vacancy. So you have the description of the vacancy, you have your CV, you can speak with AI how this CV can be converted to a resume for the needs of this vacancy, for example. All right? Faster, more efficient. And about the multidisciplinary, I mean, again, I will take you to an effort from MIT how to teach, 1 billion students based to this cross link of AI of any topics. I will give another example that I'm working right now. Before, humanities had nothing to do with technology. Now everyone speaks about digital humanities. All right? So you can see that the multidisciplinary is over there. I mean, an engineer could be in marketing, an engineer can design dissemination materials, and etc. in a shorter time. This is examples that I can give. Any other examples looking this table from your side? What do you understand? Sandra placed her opinion. What about the others? What are the main things that AI is changing to the demands from an employee? Can we see something else or I should go on? We mentioned time, multidisciplinary. She mentioned teamwork and collaboration. All right. Any other thing from your side?
I can also say maybe how much work is done in the main time that is demanding.
All right.
Beyond the time is shorter, now is in shorter time demanding more work done.
Exactly. Not only the many work, I totally agree with you, Sandra, the volume of the work that you can implement in a shorter time, but also that secondary, let's say, tasks, they can be placed in a critical way working with AI, and our cognitive abilities should be focused in something of the highest priority. All right? So, volume of work done. All of these things combined with the critical thinking means efficiency. And anyone in his or her job needs more efficient people. All right? So let me continue then. So let's go now to analyze a bit what are these fusion skills, examples of these skills for strengthening learning with AI, and practical tips how to teach, which means how to learn, because only when you teach, you learn. So in this case, teaching and learning is like reading and writing. What is more important? It's like the chicken and the egg. So what are these fusion skills? First of all, I would like to say that, fusion skills have to do, as this article again from the Harvard Business Review has to do embracing and using and leverage AI at your work. All right. So your ability to be successful, your ability to perform very much nowadays is linked how efficient you are going to use these LLM models, these AI agents based on any of these LLM models in order to learn and grow with them. You need to excel in this new era using AI, which means human collaboration. Most people will need one or more of what do we call fusion skills. I will say, in my opinion, all of them. So fusion, you have already responded to me. It has to do with a blended of soft, technical, and AI literacy, which includes ethics as well, and is this combination that will make you employee very much desired from the others. So if we go, so we have the human expertise. I have already asked you and you have responded. You mentioned adaptability, critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, empathy, decision making, plus your AI capacities and capabilities, which means tools, but also culture. To use AI, in my opinion, is a culture, is a way of thinking. It's like to take this not or as your master, but as your slave. It's an extra labor for you, an extra collaborator, in order this to make, this kind of fusion skills that market is needs. By the way that we are going to, if you are going to think and have the right mindset, which means learning, application, and then adaptability and improvement, having this mindset of the pilot and not the co-passengers, you are going to develop these skills. So you should think this kind of new era, a new a way of thinking as a new tool in order to boost your creativity and be able to do these tools to help you to do the job in order for you to be more efficient. So this is the correct mindset in order to drive, this union of skills that EU mentioned. So adapt, this pilot, this leadership kind of mindset instead of to be a follower and use AI as just, Google things. So examples of these fusion skills that we have already discussed is intelligence interrogation, which means what we say the prompt engineering. What kind of questions and counter questions you need to ask in order to achieve your goal, to make a conclusion, let's say. All right. So how many questions you are going to make? I will say use this 5 house approach. You have an idea, you provide to the agent a role. You say, for example, to the agent, you are an examiner, you are my interviewer in this position occupation. These are my main skills. These are my main qualifications. What kind of questions you are going to ask? Then you provide some types of questions. Then you ask what kind of what more information about this type of the question regarding your personality, your interest, and etc. All right. So try to provide. This is a tip regarding this prompt engineering. Be direct with the agent, but also provide to the agent a role, as an examiner, as an interviewer, as your friend, as your coach, or whatever. All right. So this has to do with the prompt engineering. Do direct and clear questions towards your target, but always the machine has a role, and it's you that you give this role to the agent. Then is reciprocal apprenticeship. So you are keeping what is correct. You are keeping, and you stop, this discussion when, you decide, when you have the knowledge and the critical thinking and the decision making, that this is what I'm keeping and I'm going on. Again, you keep what are you doing. You are learning with the machine, and you make your conclusion, and then probably you can use it for to include and for as a brainstorming. All right, so you have an idea, you know what are you going to do. Your boss probably is placing to you, or your collaborator, your mentor is placing you a challenge. You propose some solutions or some ideas in order to address this challenge, and the AI provides you something out of the box based to the directions that you have placed during the prompt engineering. So these are the if I would like to repeat, these four fusion skills: learn how to speak and communicate and decide using AI. It's like a training. The better information you place, the better output you are going to get. Then it's up to your knowledge, technical, soft skills, in order to judge what you are going to keep, in order to move on, and also is an extra labor for you in order to do brainstorming and create new ideas, or shape your new ideas with higher vision or more formality, and etc. So tips given element, as we say, like about I have already spoke about this. A role, define its mission. All right, so you are the interviewer, and you are going to ask me personal questions. You are going to place me a case study. What kind of case study you can place to me based to the demands of this vacancy? These are, some scenarios that comes to my mind. Also, from a small experience, regarding consulting, it's very important to set up the scenarios like a simulation. But in the simulation, in order to be more realistic, you are placing the scenario. This means to be a co-pilot and do not just ask a question. I will have an interview. Show me some questions. You need to be a little bit specific. The other one is like, as I say, it's a mutual learning process. We are learning from the machine is learning from us. So we need to increase and improve the quality of the input in order to have a better output. I will give you another example in this case from my teaching activities. I have a student that he's weak, in lasers, but he's learning a lot. So I have placed, a scenario. I have created a pod for laser physics, and then I train my student how to use this pod, specified to the needs, personalized needs of my students. So my students, he's trained, and he said, I am weak on this. Let's say in fundamental optics, please the questions and the responses to my questions to be more tailored, let's say, to a person that has started, his involvement and his learning in this topic. So they learn each other and they improve each other, and the machine learns what kind of responses should provide. So it's like the Gentiles, the humans and the machines, they learn each other. And of course, we need to have the capacity, which means the knowledge, the critical, you mentioned at the very beginning, the critical thinking. The critical thinking is not to be suspicious. Critical thinking means that you have the knowledge, first of all, on how to interact with the new tools of this era. You have the knowledge and the confidence to be able to make the discussion, drive the interaction with the AI to a specific results based to your needs, and then decide what are you going to keep or how you are going to improve to be more specific the responses that you are receiving. The transformation, as I told you, is something very real. I don't think so that the AI kills the creativity. I would say the opposite. And the colleague from the Western Gallic College respond to this. It's like you have someone that you're doing a brainstorming. And the brainstorming is very much based on the questions that we are making. Either we are humans or we are with this new tool that is essential for our performance. So the tip that I'm providing is like to practice these 4 fusion skills during your learning and during your training. So these tips, in the course of the impact, thanks, to colleagues, from this project, we have started 2 versions in order to engage the students. And actually, what we have done before we are aware, at least before I was aware about the new demands of the employer regarding this examination of the fusion skills. So, which means that during an interview, they are going to ask things related to your knowledge, related how to apply your knowledge in order to check the soft skills, but also what kind of tools you are using, which means, how do you use, and also the technology, in this case, the AI. So we have done, last year a similar coil on how to use AI in order to innovate. The students, they have selected with the help of the facilitator a challenge, and then they presented their solution working with teams in teams, which is something that this table, after a year, showed to us that collaboration is important not only with the machine but also with the humans. And this year, every Wednesday, so since this course is closing today, this is a nice opportunity for you to jump in a new course which is named AI Tools for Learning and Innovation, on how to fundamental practice these fusion skills and present your ideas. Innovation means creativity on challenges that are going to be placed to you, or you can propose, because as you know, this era we are facing a lot of challenges, from geopolitics to the environment, energy, and other things, even higher education, and how the transformation happens. So these are, engagement activities in order to place you in the co-pilot seat and using a new tool, which is in the appropriate way, in order to create, innovate, and have personal development. All right. So this is every Wednesday from 15:00 to 17:00 CET. So the tips that I'm giving to you, as we are moving close, I still have 8 minutes, is like, think AI as an extra labor, invest in your knowledge. And when I'm talking about your knowledge, I'm not talking about only technology, how to use AI ethically, but your technical knowledge, your degree. I mean, this period of time now is very important for you in order to get the confidence and use the tools in an efficient way, because the tools are there. But even though that you are going to get trained to use prompt engineering, if you don't know your topic, I mean, you cannot use efficient this fantastic tool. So it's useless for you, which means you are irrelevant in this era. I'm sorry that probably I'm very, how can I say, kinikos. I don't know how it's in English, but some of my Greek students probably they can help me. But these are now the requirements. All right, invest on what kind of tools, how to use them, in order to boost your qualifications, in order to show Kostas is better by using this technology than without this technology, and better means more efficient, the correct, but also in the right time, and engage. I mean, it's not only to present things, it's not only to understand someone when he is or she is talking, but also to engage and apply your knowledge and learn from your mistakes. All right, let me check. I hope the computer. All right. So then the tip 5 is like a scenario that you can place to yourself. Find, a challenge, apply these fusion skills, on how to solve it. Try to design this at the beginning in the piece of paper and then engage the technology in order to create, the solution or to provide a feedback in order to say, aha. It's very important to say this, aha, the realization. Even, I don't know, a Greek philosopher, it said like, Evrika, I don't remember his name, but this is like the feeling of creation. These are some links that probably I will send you an email from the last year, conference that you can go and check also how the students they use the AI tools, how should they use it, responsibly. You can see here AI ethics, and also you can follow again their presentation. A similar scenario we are going to run in HMU this summer in Hanya. So the students of the HMU are very welcome to follow the course of AI learning and for learning and innovation, and then from the 25th to the 29th of May to join us in Hanya for the workshop, for the presentation, as a result of your engagement in these AI tools, based to your knowledge and based to the collaboration with the teams that we are now creating through the framework of the other coil that I have presented to you. For you that probably you have other priorities, these skills are essential for the next step. I will move on a bit. So practice future skills, either in the course or in the activities that we propose to you. Remember, you need to be the pilot and not the passenger. So now scenarios that probably we can engage are the career coaches. I'm pretty sure that you have a career office, you have a dedicated expert on how to advise you about your next step. Technology now comes as complementary, it does not cancel the human expertise, but probably can prepare you better in order to go to this expert with smarter questions. So, I mean, even ChatGPT, can be used as your career coach only when, what did we say before? You provide this scenario, this role to the ChatGPT. I gave you an example that I was thinking before this session, and I hope that I will have time to apply. There is a vacancy, a position. You have, of course, this is what we learn through this course, your CV, and then you can place, you can say to the agent, this is the description of this vacancy from this company. This is my CV. First action from this CV, create the resume, which means part of my CV that reflects the requirements of the position and create my resume. And then based to this resume, now I give you another role. You are going to be the interviewer, or as a career coach. I mean, if I'm missing something, what do you propose me in order to achieve this qualification and for the next vacancy to apply? Now, by talking to you even online, it came to my mind another idea. I think that this game should be played even now as a first year student. Why? Because this discussion, this constructive discussion with an agent regarding your career can help you. You know what are you looking for? Imagine, make the scenario that now I'm a graduate student and I would like to go to robotics in company X. All right, find a vacancy from there and try to ask, based to my CV right now, what I'm missing in order to get this position. Of course, technology is moving very fast. It's not like the old days that that one car model was coming every 20 years. Now everything is changing, even every 6 months. But this will show to you what kind of courses, how you should deal and how you should behave towards your education in order to have these competencies that when the moment will come, you will be the selected one. All right. So use, even any agent by providing the role as this career coach. I'm pretty sure also that there are specific AI tools regarding career coaching, but this is something that you need to identify. But I check this even, to ChatGPT, and when you are going to apply one of the fusion skills in an appropriate way to train and provide a role to the agent, will provide you useful kind of advices. All right. So these are the things that you can place as an information, your career goals, your work experience, your education, the challenges that you have faced in order to check based to the scenario of the vacancy how appropriate you are or what kind of interview will be followed. So I will also provide these statistics. 59% of them believe advice from AI can help people find their dream job. All right, so comes again from the Harvard Business Review. If we would like to compare the human and the AI agents, as I told you, the humans are the value of the human is like, the highest. However, such an agent is available 24 hours per day, 365 per day, the year. You can feel more comfortable because you place your resume as it is and you ask more questions that you are not shy to ask, probably, a human. A human respective tool. So I will say to try as a preparatory in a preparatory phase before you are going to find the respective person in your career office. And even, another idea that came to my mind, like to be prepared for career fairs. The companies that they exist, what is the profile of the companies, place your resume there, how close you are, and if you are interested, go to the desk and have prepared together with the AI career coach the first questions in order to start a constructive discussion with the HR staff in these career fairs. I'm talking now also to the HMU students for the career days that we will have at the end of May. With this, I think that I should stop here and I'm ready for any questions. If I would like to summarize, I will say to you, think differently now about the skills that the market is looking for. It's not only the soft skills, it's not only the technical competencies, but now it's an extra element that changes, everything from the time that a task needs to be done, the importance of the collaboration in order to be more employable. And I gave you, I think, by brainstorming myself and by looking at you, different scenarios on how to use this, and also the importance of what are you doing right now. Your studies is, an element. If you are going to miss it, you are irrelevant. Either you learn AI or without the fundamental knowledge, you don't have this critical thinking, this confidence that everyone checks during an interview. All right? So with this, since the moderator is here, not here because he has to coordinate a career day, I would like to thank you, and I can wait, for let's say 1 minute if there are any extra questions. If something was not clear, if everything was not clear, I don't have the time to make it more clear. You need to listen again, this video, but. I don't, this is the greatest opportunity that you had. A lot of times in my life, I wished to go back the time and be a first year student. I have experienced so many weak points during my professional development and my professional career that I wish to be more confident because of this. I was not so serious during my undergraduate studies. So this is an investment for you that is more necessary than in my case. Because in my case, I had the time to reskill myself. Now, you need to be fast. So do not miss time now during your studies. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are in the AI era. Time finished. I would like to thank you and get
I
engaged.
just have a question, please.
Yes, Adan, thank you.
Hi, I just want to ask about the attendance, like how we can check it in the Moodle.
What do you mean the attendance and how to check it in the Moodle?
The
Can you please
attendance,
elaborate?
in the Zoom.
I know
If I'm attended,
this is my case. You know, Zoom provides me here who has participated per session. So don't worry about this.
yes,
This is,
but how we can check it?
I mean, you know how many sessions you have followed, no?
Yes, I know, but is
So
there any
I
way to
know
check
that.
it?
I will inform you if you have a problem.
No, I don't have, but I just want to
So,
check it. That's it.
all right, I don't remember by hand, but I will send you an email.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Adan. I
Thank you very
appreciate it.
much.
So
Yeah.
take care and probably see you in the next version of this course or, you know, in the course about AI for learning and innovating. This is the place that we can practice these fusion skills. Okay? Take care and be safe. Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Have a good one.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.